DC Multiverse!
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are back again today with yet another Green Lantern figure made on the John Stewart Green Lantern body buck. A figure of which I only bought for one reason and one reason only, and that is to swap the heads, which you'll see a little bit later in the video. On with the review. As you can see, I've chosen to film this today on a yellow background because I feel like the green might stand out a little bit better than on the blue. Anyway, classic McFarlane Toys packaging. You can see that it's a gold label. It's up on the left-hand corner of the box. The side just says Green Lantern, quotation marks, Hal Jordan, Green Lanterns. And the back has a stunning image of Hal Jordan Green Lantern being engulfed by the glow of his fancy willpower ring. All right, let's open this bad boy up and take a closer look. It's stuck. There, got it. And in the package, we got the Hal Jordan Green Lantern figure, his trading card, a reuse of a lantern construct that is a jetpack, and a reuse of a boxing glove construct. And just in case you're wondering, here's a close-up of the trading card and the back with probably the shortest data file I've ever seen on a McFarlane trading card. Years of confronting evil and saving billions of lives have taught Hal that power and will are worthless without empathy and a sense of purpose. But yeah, that is everything that we got in the package. And what is the one thing that is missing, completely void of this action figure as far as accessories? A lantern. Hal Jordan doesn't come with a power battery to charge his ring. This lantern here would have sufficed, or even this one right here. I mean, you've already got these lanterns, so why not pack one in? And that would, of course, mean that Hal Jordan would actually have to come with an open hand, which you can see he doesn't. Now, this would not be the first time that we've seen this body buck, as I mentioned in the intro. For those of you who are seasoned McFarlane Toys collectors, you know that we've seen it before. The first time that we saw this one used, it was to create John Stewart Green Lantern. And it wasn't used just once for him, but later they would release a glow-in-the-dark version of John Stewart. And also after the first John Stewart figure was created, but before the glow-in-the-dark John Stewart came out, we also got a Hal Jordan that came in a 2-pack. And it wasn't a bad body buck. However, I never really super liked it for Hal Jordan. Being that I was never completely happy with it, I ended up trying to put together a custom figure that would at least keep me a little satisfied. So I ended up swapping out the gauntlets. And also, because the initial original vanilla head sculpt for Hal Jordan that McFarlane Toys produced for us never really jived well with me. Like, I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was super great either. I ended up buying a custom head sculpt from Customs by Martin, and I feel like that definitely improved the figure by a very large margin. I mean, you can judge for yourself which one you think looks better, but honestly, I really think that the one that was painted by Customs by Martin on the left is head and shoulders better than the other one. Which brings us to the current Hal Jordan head sculpt. And I think that it's actually not bad. I think that it's pretty good. I think that the mask area is the best that we've seen for Hal Jordan so far from McFarlane Toys. And I think that the skin tone is actually pretty good as well. It's not really going to show up as well as I can see it with the naked eye on camera here, but I think that the skin tone is actually all right. And even the color that they've painted the lips is pretty good. A multitude of people have also suggested that this head sculpt is a reuse of the first Ultraman figure to hit the market from McFarlane Toys. And I definitely think that they've touched it up digitally and re-sculpted it a little bit, but I can see that. I mean, the hair, as far as I'm concerned, the hair really gives it away that this used to be the Ultraman figure, because all of that hair is standing straight up. And if I remember correctly, I don't have the head sculpt anymore, but if I remember correctly, that was what the hair was like on Ultraman. And doing a comparison between the two, and you'll have to forgive me, I'm going to use two of the white background promo pics for this because I honestly don't even have the head sculpt for my Ultraman anymore. You can see that there is definitely some striking similarities, and it's entirely likely that the Ultraman head has been touched up again and turned into a Hal Jordan head. Just a few minor changes made to the digital file before it was sent off to be printed out of plastic in China and turned into a fantastic looking Hal Jordan head sculpt. And I do think one of the bonuses of this figure is that when you have the shiny metallic paint all over this figure's torso, it really does bring out those details a lot better. And I think I'm actually a lot more satisfied with this sculpt because it has been painted in this fashion. But as I said, I bought this Hal Jordan figure for one reason really, and one reason only, and that actually is to remove the head sculpt. Let's see if I can just pull it off without having to heat it up first. Okay, it came off. So there's that. He's just got a little neck peg left. And I just wanted to put this head sculpt on the body. Now you might be wondering where this one came from. It's actually an old DC Icons Hal Jordan head sculpt from way back in the day. And I think that this is fantastic. This is probably my favorite Hal Jordan head sculpt of all time. I mean, the skin tone is just right. They got the mask right. The hair looks good just the way that it is. I think that this one really exemplifies the look of Hal Jordan. And the mask, being a shiny green, actually matches the paint on the figure. So yeah, this to me was just a big fat no-brainer. Now I warn you, if you are going to attempt doing this kind of a custom, if you bought the McFarlane Shiny Hal Jordan and you already have the DC Icons Classic Hal Jordan, this head sculpt actually starts as one that has a solid neck, and I actually had to Dremel out the inside of it just so that it would fit a neck peg. So just be aware, there's a little bit of work to do before this will be useful on a McFarlane Toys figure. Also, I've found other uses for this body as well. You can see I've taken two different bodies. Oh yeah, it was also used again for the Vampire Hal Jordan. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, Vampire Hal Jordan used this body. But anyway, you can actually take these bodies and put these two head sculpts on them right there. And I like the bigger bodies with the larger heads. I think that they work a lot better with Arcus and the Green Man. I feel like these really work a lot better because their heads are bigger, so I feel like they need bigger bodies. At any rate, one more thing just to satisfy the articulation buffs that are watching this video. You might want to know how articulated it is. Well, the head is super articulated, and you're going to get the rest of the articulation that you're used to receiving with this body buck. So you can get into a flight pose, pretty good T-pose, rounded hinge all the way around. You got the sockets in the shoulders, the biceps swivel 360 degrees, no problem. He's got the double jointed elbows. He's got the rounded hinges in the wrists, all that stuff that we have seen before, very typical of McFarlane. And when you have the torso, you've got pretty good articulation in the torso as well as in the waist, and when you combine them together, dude, this guy is practically a breakdancer. Look, he can do the kangaroo. And of course, down here, he's got some of that action going on. This does not splay apart as well as I know a lot of you would perhaps like, but there is quite a bit of this action, that thigh cut appropriation that I'm always asking for, so I'll take it. And then look at that knee. As always, with this body sculpt, it's double jointed, and he's got quite a range of motion. And of course, the rounded hinge that is a pivot that actually gives quite the range of motion with a piece of toe articulation. I do lament the fact that one thing that they never changed about the articulation is we still have the stupid ratchets. And the ratchets, you can see how it clicks there, actually can get in the way of being able to pose these figures. I really want McFarlane to get away from ratchets. Anyhow, this has been, hopefully, my fairly quick review of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Shiny Hal Jordan action figure. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I will see you with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.